My wife asked for an open marriage 2 weeks before we were supposed to start trying for a baby. She said it at our kitchen table, while folding a tiny yellow onesie her mother had bought us as a joke. Before we bring kids into this, she said, I need to know I'm not missing out. I thought she meant travel. I thought she meant a new job. Then she looked me straight in the face and said, I want to experience other men before I am trapped as someone's mother. That was the moment I stopped hearing the dishwasher. My name is Daniel. I was 34. My wife, Nora, was 32. We had been married for 6 years, together for 9, and for most of that time I believed our marriage was boring in the best possible way. We paid bills early. We watched the same 2 shows every winter. We had a savings account named House Repairs and another one named Future Baby. Nora used to make fun of those account names. You are such a dad already, she would say. I took it as a compliment. I did not know she meant it as a warning. The open marriage conversation did not come from nowhere. I can admit that now. There had been little signs, the kind you notice only after the house is already burning. She started saying things like, some couples are more evolved than us. She sent me videos about freedom, desire, emotional honesty, and not letting marriage become a cage. She asked if I thought love and ownership were the same thing. I laughed the first time because I thought we were having one of those late-night philosophical conversations people have after 2 glasses of wine. But Nora was not asking philosophy questions. She was laying track. The man was my younger brother, Caleb. I found that out later, at the kitchen table. I only knew she had already chosen someone. Not because she said his name. Because people do not ask for permission in that voice unless the thing has already started. I asked, is there someone specific? She looked offended too quickly. That is such a controlling question. I asked again, Nora, is there someone specific? She folded the onesie one more time, even though it was already folded. This is exactly why I cannot be honest with you. There it was. The trick. If I asked, I was controlling. If I stayed quiet, I had agreed. If I said no, I was insecure. If I said yes, I was a husband signing away the marriage before his first child was even real. So I did something that still surprises people when I tell the story. I did not answer. I got up, took my keys from the counter, and drove to the storage unit we had rented when we were renovating the guest room into a nursery. Inside were our Christmas decorations, my old college desk, and 3 empty suitcases. I brought the suitcases home. Nora was still at the table when I walked back in. She looked at them, then at me, and laughed once. You are being dramatic. I opened the first suitcase on the floor. No, I said. I am being clear. She stared at me like I had spoken in a language she did not expect me to know. I started with her clothes from the hall closet. Not all of them. Just enough for a week. Sweaters. Jeans. Running shoes. The expensive hair tool she always forgot when we traveled. She followed me into the bedroom. Daniel, stop. I did not. She said, you cannot throw me out of my own house. I said, I am not throwing you out. I am packing the person who just told me she wants to date other men before having my child. She said, that is not what I said. I looked at her. That was exactly what she had said. But people like Nora do not repeat the sentence once they hear it in someone else's voice. They improve it. By the time she called her mother, the sentence had become, Daniel is punishing me for wanting honesty. By the time her mother called me, it had become, Nora asked for counseling and you threw her out. By the time my brother Caleb texted me, it had become, bro, she is scared of losing herself. Do not make this ugly. That text was the first crack. Caleb had never used the phrase losing herself in his life. He was 29, charming, unemployed every other month, and allergic to any sentence longer than a sports caption. He did not talk like therapy videos. Nora did. I stared at his text for a long time. Then I remembered something from 3 weeks earlier. Nora had come home from my mother's birthday dinner smelling like Caleb's cologne. At the time, I told myself that was ridiculous. They had hugged. The restaurant was crowded. Smells transfer. Now the memory changed shape. I asked Caleb one question. How long? He did not answer for 17 minutes. Then he called. I let it ring. He called again. I let it ring again. Then Nora walked out of the bedroom holding the second suitcase handle like it was evidence of my cruelty. Your brother is worried about you, she said. I've almost smiled, not because it was funny, because there is a point in betrayal where the lie becomes so badly built that you stop feeling crazy. I asked, why would Caleb be worried about a private conversation between me and my wife? Her face changed, only for half a second, but I saw it. I had seen that expression once before, when she backed into our neighbor's mailbox and tried to decide if she could blame the garbage truck. So I stopped packing. I went to the junk drawer, took out the old tablet we used for recipes, and opened our shared photo cloud. Nora said, "What are you doing?" I typed Caleb's name into the search bar. Nothing. Then I typed the name of the bar near his apartment. There they were, not kissing, not touching. Worse, in a way, comfortable. Nora in the green sweater I bought her for Christmas, sitting across from my brother in a corner booth, his hand resting on the table between them, her fingers almost touching his. The photo was not theirs. It was from my cousin's birthday album, taken by accident in the background. There were 3 more. Same bar. Same corner. Different nights. I turned the tablet toward her. Nora whispered, "That is not what it looks like." I said, "Then explain what it is." She did not. She cried instead, not the kind of crying that comes from guilt, the kind that comes from being caught earlier than planned. That night, Nora left with 2 suitcases and the yellow onesie in her purse because she grabbed it from the table like it proved something. I do not know what she thought it proved. Maybe that she still wanted the future. Maybe that I was the one ruining it. The next morning, my parents came over. They did not knock. My mother still had a key. My father looked embarrassed before anyone spoke. That told me enough. My mother said, "Your brother made a mistake." I said, "Nor made a marriage decision." She said, "Do not talk like a lawyer. This is family." That sentence did more damage than Nora's request, because family, apparently, meant I was supposed to absorb the injury quietly so no one else had to feel uncomfortable. My father said Caleb was depressed. My mother said Nora was confused. They both said I was stronger than this. I asked, stronger than my wife sleeping with my brother? My mother flinched. My father looked at the floor. Neither of them said no. That was how I got the confirmation. Not from a confession, from silence. I walked to the kitchen table, picked up the folder I had made at 2 in the morning, and gave it to my father. Inside were the photos from the cloud, Caleb's texts, screenshots of hotel charges from the credit card Nora forgot was still linked to our budget app, and a printed email from the fertility clinic confirming our canceled appointment. Nora had canceled it herself. Reason, not ready for family planning. She had not told me. My mother read the first page and sat down. My father closed the folder. I said, "You wanted family." There it is. For the first time in my life, my mother did not know what to say. The divorce was not fast, but my decision was. I changed the locks because my mother had a key and had already shown me what she thought boundaries were worth. I separated the accounts. I canceled the nursery furniture order. I moved the yellow paint cans from the guest room to the garage and closed the door. Nora sent me one long message 3 days later. She said I had abandoned her when she was asking for a more honest version of marriage. She said Caleb had only happened because I made her feel safe enough to be honest. She said if I really loved her, I would see this as a crisis we could grow through. At the bottom, she wrote, "You packed my bags like I was trash." I read that line maybe 20 times. Then I finally answered, "No, I packed your bags because you treated our marriage like storage." She never replied to that. Caleb tried. He came to my house 2 weeks later and stood on the porch with a face full of rehearsed regret. He said, "I never meant for it to go this far." I said, "You never meant for me to know." He said he loved her. I told him that was convenient, because now he could keep her. He cried. I did not. That is the part people judge me for when I tell the story. They want the betrayed husband to scream, punch a wall, beg, collapse, forgive, or perform pain in a way that makes everyone else comfortable. I had done all my collapsing in private. By the time Caleb came to my porch, I had nothing left for him except the truth. Nora and Caleb lasted 6 weeks. That is what my cousin told me. I did not ask. People just bring you information when a family scandal becomes too loud to hide. Apparently, the freedom Nora needed felt less poetic when my brother could not pay rent. Apparently, Caleb liked being chosen more than he liked being responsible. Apparently, open marriage sounded better before the husband closed the door. Now the guest room is just a room again. No crib, no yellow walls, no baby account. I still have the folder. Not because I need it. The divorce is moving. The facts are not disputed anymore. I keep it because every once in a while, when someone tells me I reacted too coldly, I open it and remember the exact order of events. My wife did not ask for honesty. She asked for permission after betrayal. My brother did not make a mistake. He made a choice and waited for me to call it family. My parents did not try to save my marriage. They tried to save their version of the family photo. And me. I packed 2 suitcases before I knew everything. People say that was harsh. Maybe it was. But if your spouse asks to experience other people right before building a family with you, understand what they are really asking. They are asking you to stand still while they test how much disrespect you can carry. I did not stand still. I packed the bags. And for the first time in months, my house was quiet enough to tell the truth.